What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the NIO share price and why NIO is most likely going to get a bounce very soon based off what the news, data, and technicals are telling us. And before I break anything down about this, before I get into any more details about NIO, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 7 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. When it comes to NIO, right off the bat, you guys can see NIO is developing a bullish divergence because down here around the $8 zone, NIO actually had an MACD in the signal line that were a lot higher than how low it actually went by the time NIO came to these lows right here. What does this mean? Well, when you look at NIO, check this out. NIO came down to $8, it bounced up to 10.75, then it came all the way back down to 8.75. But after we hit 8.75, it tried to bounce and actually close green above $9, and I consider that quite bullish. Now, on top of that, notice the bottoms, right? Notice the bottoms. This bottom, where my cursor is, which was much lower than where this low was, right? So we made a higher low on NIO, but our MACD made a lower low on the hourly. Check this out right here. On the RSI's low was around 25, 27, around there. The low on the RSI recently was around 23. So the RSI made a lower low hitting extremes, right? The MACD made a lower low hitting extremes, but the share price made a higher low for NIO. That is a bullish divergence. What this means is, as long as NIO holds these levels, it's going to actually reverse and start pushing up very soon. Now, our 50 EMA happens to be around 9.36, with the 200 around 9.42, with key resistance around this 9.5 area. What else is worth noting is, unfortunately, I know I'm talking about a balance, but you have to remember what the charts are telling us. You could see right here, NIO has a left shoulder, a head, and now we should be forming a right shoulder. This is what at least this pattern is telling us. And it seems very likely that NIO will most likely bounce and get back to around the 9.5 zone. So I do see a bounce coming very soon, probably tomorrow or by Tuesday. Now, why is it forming this? Well, honestly, guys, I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday and beyond, but I think before we get to Wednesday, I think NIO is going to try to bounce and start pushing up. The MACD just got a crossover. It looks a little bit more bullish. Now, when it comes to the news that came out, right here in the European Union, they actually hope to have 30 million zero-emission EVs by 2030. Once again, very bullish news for NIO, and they just actually called out NIO as being a very positive impacting EV company for the EU. That's a good sign, as the EU is now actually giving NIO some recognition. On top of that, if we look at what just came out on Twitter, NIO was honored to announce that the ET7 has been voted as the EV of the year 2023, according to eDrivers.com. That is a platform for e-mobility. Once again, incredible, ambitious rewards for NIO. I'm very happy that this is coming out for them, and I really hope they do continue to grow going forward. Now, when it comes to NIO's volume, we actually have relatively low volume right now. We could see the volume increase a bit if we get more buying pressure, and that's what I'm hoping for. But we don't need extremely high amounts of volume to actually push the share price somewhat up. Short volume is still a little high. I want to see this thing actually come down. And when we hit these higher levels, we tend to see it actually decrease. So I'm hoping that happens, which could help NIO for tomorrow. And then as far as the other pieces of data go, the price-price ratio is relatively low. When it hits these low levels, it tends to bounce a bit. If that's the case, that tells us NIO should bounce too. And also, NIO tends to be red most of the time on Mondays, but we tend to do a lot better on Tuesdays. So I do believe by Monday or Tuesday, NIO should get a very nice bounce, but I'm actually aiming more towards Monday. And finally, as far as the shorting goes on NIO, we did see more shorting over the last couple of days, but the shorting did decrease a bit by the time Thursday came around. We only saw about 5 million shares shorted, so that is a positive sign for the time being, and I think that can help NIO bounce. When it comes to unemployment data, the data came out not too horrible, not too great either. So I think the market's going to react to it. We also have a Fed speaker later on. Not too much is going on though. I think the Fed speaker comes out after the market closes. Same thing for Tuesday. Not too much data is coming out on Monday or Tuesday, but for Wednesday we have CPI, so that's going to be very impactful. So please be ready for that. But if anything, guys, I do believe the market's going to try to push up a little bit more tomorrow and possibly for Tuesday. I think this based off so many different factors. Tesla was hit with some bullish news. It's likely going to start pushing up, and that could actually help the entire consumer discretionary sector start to pump. SPY looks bullish. So does SPX, whichever one you want to use. We have a bullish crossover on the MACD, and we're continuing to see this thing make higher highs and higher lows compared to before. We just want to see this thing now retest this 411, see if we can break it. I think we're going to test that very soon. Additionally, I want to note that the QQQ could get dragged up by Apple, which has a gap above. QQQ might cool off a little bit and then try to keep going for this 320. We're about to get a bullish crossover on the MACD and the PPO. Lots of bullish signals are essentially forming. I think we also formed a divergence here. I'll have to double check this on the hourly. And yes, we did form a divergence, right? QQQ made a lower low. RSI made a higher low. We're getting a bullish crossover on the MACD. We might cool off a tiny bit more and then try to balance and get it above 320, getting dragged up by Nvidia and also Apple. If the market continues to push up, which it most likely will, this should help NIO approach 9.5 very soon, in my opinion. All right. So I do believe within the next 2 days it's going to happen. For tomorrow, I want to see NIO close above $9, and I think she should start testing the 50 EMA at the very least, at least 9.35 very, very soon. All right, so that's basically what I'm predicting. I'm still more bullish on NIO for the super, super long term. For the medium term, obviously, guys, there will likely be more downside coming later on to the markets going into like Q2 to Q3. I do believe there has to be more downside coming based off the current macros right now. But besides that, right, the charts right now are bullish currently, right? Currently, the market looks bullish. So for just the next couple of days, I am seeing some upside coming. I do believe the odds favor upside. I do think NIO is going to get to 9.35 to 9.5 very, very soon. And then after, whatever happens will depend on CPI, which is coming out on Wednesday. So make sure you guys are ready for that. But until then, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. Have an absolutely incredible Easter Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, because the long term is still incredibly bright, and peace out.